It is no, wait, no. That's the next podcast. It's Patreon. Hi guys, we're in the Patreon. I'm here at Sorgatron. Dave Bonner is in the box, the double box. We have a guest coming in here for Fishing Update. We might cut this short depending on how things go. Because I told them if it looks like we're going, if I see somebody looking, I might wave them in. Like, come on in. So Katie's here as well.
Hi, I'm still here.
Hi, you're still here. You had a topic, and I guess again we don't like to do like really negative things on the main show, so and maybe we'll put this out. And so we're recording here on President's Day the 16th, if you catch us later after we get it out after the Patreon. So what did you want to talk about, Katie? What did you want to bring up?
All right, so I trying to figure out where the list is because I saw it, but essentially like Reddit and Meta equals Reddit. Reddit, Meta, and Google for sure are voluntarily giving information to the Department of Homeland Security, identifiers, etc., for folks who are posting anti-ICE content.
So we're on a list. Okay, got it. This is a concern. This is what they've been warning about us about this entire time, right? Before any of this was happening, it was like, hey, your stuff will be out there. The government can do this, this, and this. This is why we got all crazy about Palantir and the Edward Snowden stuff, whatever they were talking about at the time. And now it's happening. So I actually did see a TikTok talk from the New York Times that they've been looking into this, and they're talking about these judicial warrants and things like that. So this is happening. If you're posting things and the administration is not happy with it, you may be on the list. This is true. They are pulling this information. This has been reported. This has been vetted by pretty decent news places, right?
Yes.
So at this point, so this is something you have to watch out for. So now, what can happen with it? They can. Katie, you didn't lock the door, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, no. Come on in. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be locked.
I did lock it. I promise.
Anyways, maybe I'll check that in a second. But what are you seeing on this?
So like the article that I'm looking at is Gizmodo was talking about it's not. I think one of the worst parts of it is it's voluntarily doing this.
The companies are voluntarily doing this.
Yes, so. They're covering their own asses in this
because they don't want it to come down on them. No. So and they're doing that instead of protecting the us, their users. So
yeah. So, did you see this, partner?
No, I did. Well, I heard the thing about Reddit. I didn't know about Meta and Google though. But I saw people post about Reddit and like I said, it's one thing if someone comes with you with a warrant signed by a judge.
Yes.
Well,
you have to do it.
And even these warrants, I think, are unsigned. I think it's kind of like these procedural warrants.
These are administrative warrants where ICE pretty much signs for themselves.
And
when they try to flash their warrant in person, they're pretty much all administrative warrants. They don't go to a judge. They don't take the time or the effort.
You can deny these if somebody comes to you with one of those and you see it not signed by a judge, and unfortunately that means everybody has to be educated on a judicial versus non-judicial warrant now, right? So who's going to know that?
And there's so much legal stuff that we're not experts in.
No,
but there are so many things like. You're a U.S. citizen. ICE doesn't have anything over you. However, they can say, we think you're illegal.
Yes.
We're going to take you in.
Absolutely.
And that's enough.
And of course, there's a lot of, without getting into all that kind of stuff, I don't want to because we're a tech show. There's a lot of that is being pushed back on, Now, specifically in this warrant situation with your data in Google, Facebook, etc., from the New York Times reporting that I was looking at today, so my understanding of it is, this is something they're saying this is something that's been on the books for a while, and this is something they will go to Meta, Facebook for child traffickers, terrorists kind of things, suspicion of this, that, and the other thing, extremism, and they are just blanket putting these out there to pull mass amounts of information on all of us, and I say all of us because who knows what triggers it, right? They could be suspected of one thing or another. We already see if you cross the border and they may ask to look at your phone because you do not have any rights when you cross the border, depending on especially which way you're going. So that is a concern. It's almost becoming when you travel, because the rule for China was if your equipment leaves your site, you should throw it away, because it's probably not going to be. It probably didn't come without anything else if you see it again. It's getting to the same point. Maybe you should travel with burner equipment if you're going across country lines and things, because of this country and how they're going about things. So that, again, we talked a lot on the show about your privacy and everything. This is an extension of this. This is a manifestation of that kind of idea. So I just want to make sure we got our next podcast coming in here. We're doing a little extra Patreon, but so just don't mind the background. But I think it's something we should mention a little bit before we get going here. Go ahead, Dave.
Sure. And technology related, they can force you to use Touch ID or Face ID to unlock your phone. Mm-hmm. However, they cannot force you to give up your password.
Right. They cannot compel you to give up your password, right?
Mm-hmm. Because it's information in your head.
Yes.
But anything physical, they can force you to do that. So if you're concerned about that, lock your phone. Not just lock your phone.
If you think you're
either turn on Face ID.
Yes.
Yeah. And honestly, like I said, the way they're going after people just crossing the border or existing, if you don't, I understand, turn off Face ID. And if you have the ability, put a 6-digit code or put an alphanumeric.
Right.
Because if you do an alphanumeric, they can't break it.
It's even harder. Yes.
If it's a 4-digit, they can just run through all the numbers, and boom, you got it. Even 6 they could do. But you get alphanumeric, they need to bring in outside people with expertise actually breaking your phone, because at least Apple will not do it without a warrant from a judge, and they sometimes can't do it because Apple does encrypt stuff on Apple servers.
Absolutely.
So the FBI has come to people, come to Apple and said, okay, this is someone who blew up something. We have a judicial warrant. And they're like, great.
We literally don't have access.
Yeah, we don't have access to the data. Until if you can get their ID, if you can get the password, you can unlock it, but we can't do anything with it.
It's plausible deniability, so they can protect their users. That then they say they are the privacy company, and this is part of it. Now that all blows up if you have Facebook and everything connected, and you're doing stuff through there. But if as far as like things on Apple, that's different. So you install a bunch of stuff that has your location tracked everywhere. Well, that's something different too. You just let that out there out of the bag with Meta or whoever else. So if you have concerns with it, just this might be a time to be kind of careful. Especially if you are very vocal about things or very active in things that you don't like seeing your government do, and this applies to any country you're in, kind of situation. So that's what they've been warning about us about, and here we are. So a little word of caution. And on a down note, we gotta get out of here. Thank you, Dave, for chiming in. Thank you, Katie, for bringing it up too.
Yeah.
Any final tips on the way out for this?
Just keep doing. It's just keep doing what you think is right.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we'll see you guys next time.